Welcome back, guys. After planning of audit, it's a second subtitle: How to execute the audit in CISA Domain 1, which is a major part from the interview point of view and for CISA exams as well. So, guys, let's begin the session without any delay. So, here the question number one. As per the CISA Domain 1, brief me about the execution of audit. What are the considerations comes under this, right? So as we all know that in CISA domain 1, right, there are two kinds of subtitles. Number one is the planning phase and second to the execution phase. So guys, the particular planning phase we had discussed in our last presentation, and today we will discuss about the execution, right? So question is asking about, if we talk about the execution of audit, right, what are the considerations, right? What are the steps, right? What are the agendas comes under this? So the first agenda is the APM. APM is the Audit Project Management, in which these are the subtitles, right? So number one is the audit objective, right? In this section, how what are your purpose for doing the audit, right? What are the objective of the audit, right? You have to mention here. Second is the audit phase. Audit phase, guys. There are actually three phases, in which number one is the planning part, right? Second is the what data you are gathering, right, from the departments, right? For example, you have to sit with each and every departments to gather the data and to gather the controls, right? What are the SOPs and all. And last part is the reporting part, right? Audit programs are exactly same as the audit phases, but in a detailed manner, right? You have to just documents, like document and all. So like audit phase, audit programs, and the documentations part are related to each other. Next is the regulatory acts, right? What are the what are the frauds and what are the illegal acts which you have find in the audit, right? Just highlight those and just put in as a highlighted remark, and with the high severity. So this is all the subtitles in our APM. APM is the title of CISA Domain 2, which is a part of execution of audit. Coming to the next slide. Yes, second part is a sampling approach. Guys, sampling approach is applicable for those organizations who are very large in size, right? So it's not possible to do the audit for each and every event, right? So statistical planning is a way from which we can do the audit, right, by picking only one event between 1 to 100, right? Let's take an example. We have 1 lakh events, right? So in 1 lakh events, for each 1 to 100 events, right, you have to pick any one event, right? And accordingly for next 100 events. So so like this, guys, we have picked each and every 100 events, we had picked only one, and accordingly we make our judgment, right? So statistical planning comes under a part of it's generally create a value, right? Second part is a non-statistical part. It's a part of non-value, and it's completely depend on the experiences, whatever you have. So, but the question arising here, guys, how you pick the samples. So let's take an example here, guys, right? During COVID time, many infected peoples all around, in which more people are infected from the red zones and medium from the gray zone and very less from the green zone. So accordingly, you have to pick the samples, right? Because you know very well that in red zone, right, there are maximum number of people infected, so you have to pick more numbers of samples from red zone and accordingly from these two zones as well, right? So so this is the method, you have to pick the samples. So in a similar way, if we can relate this within the technical form, right? We have an organization, right, in which access control, right, BCPDR, right, and the how data is a transit and how data is at rest, right? So from these areas you have to pick the more events for audit. So this sampling approach is applicable for larger organization because we know that mass number of events are there in the audit. So you have to pick this audit very logically manner, right? These larger organization, maybe your Amazon, Google, and from these two, right? By applying any one of the sampling method, you can do the audit. Next question is what is substantive testing and audit and how it is different from test of and a test of control. Guys, substantive testing, there are a lot of questions coming from the CISA exam. So substantive testing is the examination of control in details, right? In details means you have to test by applying something um you are doing a, a kind of audit in the access control, right? So guys, there if there are 8 password lengths and you have to do the audit by applying, right, whether it is taking 6 length password or not, right? So like this you have to perform the audit by just applying the wrong consideration whether it is going to pop up an error or not. So here the example is, right, for example, you have to perform the access control audit if documentation is in place and it's verified by authority, it is called as test of control, right? So only the documentations part and the control is in place, it comes under the test of and a test of control. Second part is the substantive, right? So guys, substantive is the how are you testing the control in detail, right? So as I had just discussed that you can check that how effectiveness by applying less than the standard password length. So for example, 8 is a standard length and you should apply less than 8 for checking. So I mean you have to audit by just applying the less than the standard value whether it is going to pop up an error or not. So this is a way from where you can check the control in details. So conclusion of the substantive testing and the test of a control is is a control document is in place, it will comes under the test of control, and the test of details, right, it comes under the substantive. Coming to the next slide, yes, what is CSA in CISA? So guys, CSA is the control self assessment, right? This is the part of line of business in which auditors examine and improving existing internal control or implement new controls to mitigate the risk. All the controls are listed in the applications where auditor to put their opinion after validating the examining the particular controls. So CISA is a application or software, we can say nowadays, right? Where all the controls are listed and you have to just mark yes or no whether this control is actually exist in environment or not, or what are the latest controls recommended by the international guidelines. So whether are these new controls are there in the environment or not. So you have to just uh, go through the checklist. So CISA is a application or a software from where all controls are listed and you have to just tick mark yes or no. So guys, this is the last slide where current GRC batch is going on and interview guidance they are taking. If you want to join, send an email on this particular one, and the next session on the CISA quiz, right, where I will put up many objective questions and you have to test yourself whether how much your level in terms of CISA 1, I mean domain one. So guys, stay tuned and kindly subscribe, hit the bell icon, and don't forget to share the channel. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.